guys, I'm going to walk you through a really quick and easy, as usual, preparation for some breakfast eggs and veg. This is typically what I have every day, or at least 3 to 4 days out of the week. We always keep a ton of eggs on hand. I buy, or my husband brings home flats of eggs from the butcher's block in Nace. Ideally, of course, we have grass-fed, pastured, omega-3 eggs, but we go through such a high volume of eggs that he brings about 60 at a time, and that tends to last us about a week. I'll hard boil a whole thing of these so that I can just pull them from the fridge, and that's a quick, easy, portable, take with you snack or in-between meal option for some protein and fat, but otherwise, just $3 for 20 eggs picked up from a butcher. So that's what I start with. And actually I'm going to go ahead and turn my pan on to medium-low. And I'm just going to melt a little bit of my clarified butter in there. I usually can also use some coconut oil. So just a little bit, a few grams, right in the pan. And on low, I'm just going to let that melt so that my eggs won't stick. I make kind of like a little, not a frittata necessarily, but this is my quick, easy weekday breakfast meal. On the weekends, I get a little fancier and add more diced veg, but this is my way of just getting it done quick. So I turn the heat off. I just want to get my fat melted in the pan. Then turn it off because I don't even want to dirty up a bowl to beat my eggs in. I just like to break them directly in the pan and then whisk them up because then I have one less thing that I have to wash. So turn the heat off after it gets melted, and then remember that little trick. How many eggs can you fit in your hand? Very carefully. I can get about 4 or 5, so I'm going to have 4 eggs. You might have smaller hands, you go with 3. You have huge hands, go with 6. But that's a good portion size, portion control. Think about your hand all the time, all right? So I'm just going to break them directly in here. Sometimes I do half egg white, half whole eggs, depending on how much fat I'm getting in that day. But the egg yolks are good for you. So don't worry about the old wives' tale about dietary cholesterol. You've got a lot of good vitamins and minerals in here. So, and my eggs, I always season them. I season everything. A little bit of salt, fresh cracked pepper. I find the more flavorful you make your food, the more fun it is to eat. So, as always, my chilies, my all-purpose thyme, and as usual, a little sprinkle of garlic powder, and my onion granules. Alright, all my seasonings in the pan. Grab my whisk. This isn't going to scrape up my pan, so I get the nice silicone coated whisks and just whip them around, get them nice and mixed up. Right in there. As I start to whisk, I'll go ahead and turn the heat back on, back to about medium. Medium high. I just want to get this cooked. And as it heats, you can actually get more volume into the eggs, so they'll be a little bit fluffier actually. So keep whisking until they start cooking, obviously. At that point, you're done. So I'm just whisking it around. I mean, you can scramble your eggs. You can, like I said, on the weekends I add chopped vegetables. I'll add my onions and peppers first to the pan, and then I'll whisk the eggs in a separate bowl, and I make a lot more. And then just dump them in on top for kind of a little frittata. But this is my quick, easy go-to weekday. Just crack them in the pan, let it set. And we'll be right back after those. While I let my eggs start to set and cook in the pan, I'll go ahead and slice up my avocado. So, big knife, avocado, it's nice and gives a little when you squeeze it, so that means it's probably about ripe. Avocado's a really great source of healthy fat for you. It also has a fair amount of fiber. So I just cut right in there. There's a pit in the middle, so you just take your knife around it, twist it right open, and some of it's stuck to that. This may not be a very good avocado. And then I just run my knife through carefully so you don't go all the way through and cut yourself. And I dice it up, running it across. And I'll go ahead and just scoop it out with a spoon right onto my plate, or sometimes just directly on top of whatever I'm eating, but I tend to include avocados quite frequently in my meals, and every time I have eggs I put some diced avocado or sliced up avocado on there. So just about a half. This is a small avocado, anywhere from half to a whole avocado depending on what you need for your goals. So avocado done. Now let's check on the egg. Kind of run my spatula around the outside of the pan. Still could use a little bit longer to cook right there in the middle, so I'm just going to hang out. And so it looks like the egg is getting a little set on top. It's nice and pretty because I have all my seasonings in there. I just get a nice long flat spatula, go around the edge, slide it around. If it's stuck in the middle anywhere, the clarified butter should keep it from sticking. Give it a nice shake. It's still a little loose on top, but I'm going to try my flippy trick. Let's see how it works. Just flip it over. Not too bad. Got a little splatter on the wall. So that's where you want to make sure the top is set. If you don't want to flip that way in the pan, you could shove it in your oven under the broiler, or whatever you guys call it here, the heat on top, and just let that kind of finish cooking it. Flip it over, however you need to turn it in the pan. I'm going to let that finish setting. Just let it set a little bit longer. It doesn't need to cook very much on the other side because it's mostly done. Slide it around the pan, and I just put it right on my plate. I bring the pan right back to the stove. And spinach. This is the quick, easy way to do it. I usually go through about a 400 gram bag of spinach every couple of days. I haven't been to this store yet, so this is what I had to pick up on the way home. Couple big handfuls directly in the pan. It's about 100 grams. Again, think of your fists. For me, once this cooks down, it'll be a couple fists worth of vegetables. So, I just turn that heat up and wilt down my spinach to give me a good start to my morning with some leafy greens. I don't even season it outside of just putting a little bit of lemon juice right on top. Just squeeze that lemon right in there. You can use the remainder of the lemon to squeeze on your avocado half that you're not going to eat. Unless you are going to eat it, just sprinkle a little lemon on there. That'll keep it from going brown. Put it in a container or something right back in the refrigerator until you're ready to eat it again. But just a little lemon juice, picking the seeds out. You can add a little more black pepper if you desire. And yeah, it doesn't have to go very long in the pan at all. It's wilted. I just bring my egg, I've got my avocado, and I'm just going to slide it right on top. And there we go. I've got my healthy fat, I've got my veg, I've got my protein, and I like to finish, I love rocket, or arugula in the U.S. I just take a nice little handful of rocket and drop that right on top as well. Maybe another spritz of lemon juice, and breakfast is ready. That didn't take long at all. Eat up.